What is up, everyone? It is your boy D Gaming Flyer here with a draft analysis video since I'm doing a Days League now, and I am your coach of the Virginia Scizors, and we are going to be bullet punching our way to the top. So first things first, I want to try before we even get into the draft analysis. I really want to try a new mega, and uh, well, I've seen this mega do a lot. But before I get anything swelling into it, uh, well, there is an entire stream of the All International uh on Grounded Glide Scores uh, uh channel. I don't know why I blanked on that. On Grounded Glide Scores channel, which I will link in the description below, and well, you get to see the entire draft stream. So it's like if you want to just see the see just the entire thing what everyone has. I'll link that in the description below. So my thought process going into this draft was I wanted to try a new mega and I want to build around that mega. So let's get into this one. Mega Altaria. Mega Mega Altaria. I've seen this thing and you just well not even just you in draft like in certain drafts just straight sweep this just sweep an entire team or just outstall an entire team. And well, Mega Altera being Dragon and Fairy, has very good typing, very very great and well rounded really, stats. So it can be physical attacker, or physical setup sweeper, special attacker, even bulky or or support. Uh, Physical being D-dance and an offensive move, usually return, or sometimes I've seen facade. Uh, with the special attack instead, I've seen hacker voice. Oh, then for those who don't know, before I get too ahead of myself, this this mega gets the ability Pixelate, which turns all normal moves into fairy type moves. So th- so things like return, hyper voice, tackle even turns into a fairy type move. And it honestly and it benefits from the stab too this that the Cloudbird gets when it mega evolves. So it's a pretty powerful one. It get oh physical setup with Dragon Dance and return and other physical moves. Special offense, hyper voice. It could be bulky with Roost and Cotton Guard because yes, Cotton Guard is a thing, and if you try to attack a physical move, once it has Cotton Guard up, Cotton Guard is a move. Cotton Guard is a move that says it's +3, which means your physical attack is doing nothing. And it can even be a support. It can even be a support mon with Heal, Bell, and Defog. So it gets a very wide array of moves can be used for a number of things. And I'm very happy for this. So with that, I welcome Nimbus to the Virginia Scissors. Moving on, uh, Tapu Fini. So, Tapu Fini, uh, Alpine Altaria, in uh, in a good way, I want to say. It it resists ice, which in Altaria it's weak to. It's the second fairy, so if I so I don't have to rely on Mega Altaria being my only fairy type if I just need Tapu Fini to be there. I mean, if I just need a fairy typing for the match, and and Tapu Fini sets up has an ability called Misty Surge, which upon switching sets up Misty Terrain, and uh, and the effects of his terrain uh include the fact that grounded mons cannot be status, and the latter, well, and lesser known effect is that it reduces the power of dragon type moves, or cuts in half, I should say. So so it already helps a lot. It may hinder my military because it is part dragon, and uh but I really don't see myself needing to use dragon type moves too often because of the fairy type moves, and fairy is an amazing typing because just ever since Gen 6 introduced it. Uh, Tab- Tabu Fini is a great bulky water. Can defog away. Can reliably defog away hazards. Even has potential to be run offensive with Scarf or Respect, since it didn't have a bad speed stat or a bad special attack stat. Uh, let's see. What else was I going to say about you? Uh, it can get pretty worn down with without leftovers, it but there's a lot of other options I can go for this one. But with that we with that I welcome Atlantia, the Tapu Fini, to my team. And now moving on. So, okay, before I get into this next pick, I want I wanted something that could help with Mega Terra's average speed stat, since it is base 80 and is outsped by common scarfers like Crocodile, Hydreigon, base 100s, and all about that. So I decided to get Galvantula, and Galvantula helps in two ways with speed control. Um, one obviously more than the other, seeing as Tapu Fini is here, but it gets Sticky Web, and what Sticky Web does is reduces the reduces the speed of any grounded mon by one by one stage, making them if I can capitalize on that with my Altera, I can easily set up and sweep or uh, break break down a few walls, do damage, because a lot because speed is a very essential component in Pokemon battling, I should say. So I it also helps with speed tier, since it is pretty fast, coming in at a base 108 speed stat, which is its speed tied is the Musketeers, being Cavalion, Terrakion, Keldeo, and Verzion, and but doesn't outspeed things like Latias, Cartana, Azo. Just thinking of a bunch of speed tiers off the top of my head, and but Garvantula gets one. Well, actually, it gets two good abilities in Compound Eyes and Unnerve. Compound Eyes, increasing the accuracy of all of its moves. So Thunder, instead of being a 70% accurate move, it's a 91. It's a 91% accurate move, which is a lot better, truthfully. And Unnerve is Unnerve prevents uh the opposing Pokemon from eating any berries. So it can stop gluttony users, even even resistance barrier users as well. Uh, mo- but more than likely it's gonna be compoundized just to hit just to for overall damage output, since that seems to be the most common ability for an intervention. But who knows? Might come out with another Galvantula at some point of the season. Uh, so with that, I welcome Shocklight the Galvantula to the team. So next is Bishop, and what Bishop does here is well, for one, it's my first rocker if I choose to use it, but it has the ability Defiant, uh which Defiant raises the doubles the attack stat. No, it raises the attack stat by +2 every time a stat is lowered. And the reason why that's so important is if someone wanted to either bounce back my webs, uh, or try to defog them away, then I can easily ring Bishop, and that's a free +2. And this thing gets a decent amount of coverage moves. It gets one very great move in stab priority sucker punch, which just hurts, especially after +2. And and with base 125 attack stat, it may not even need +2 sometimes just to put a dent in someone in some Pokemon. Uh, so yeah, it's also it's sort of yeah no it completes my Dragon Fairy Steel Core being Metal Alter type of thing in Fish Sharp. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. So thing just hurts. And with that, I welcome Meta Knight the Fish Sharp uh to the Virginia Scissors. So okay, sorry. My next pick is Delmise. Uh, Delmise is honestly neat on this team because I need a rapid spinner. I didn't want to automatically when it comes to hazard stacking. I didn't want it to honestly just be default because what the point of setting up runs. With rapid spin, however, and having Delmise as my rapid spinner, um, uh, it does it does a lot. Um, more more it helps with hazard removal, and being that it is a grass and ghost type, but more focused on the ghost typing, it could it could just hurt every sort of spin blocker with Shadow Claw, Phantom Force, and even can be run bulky enough to social special since stat wise it is more physically defensive. So I got this thing for rapid spin. It's honestly one of the better anti-spin blockers because if a ghost side comes in, like like a ghost side coming in risk being hit by this thing stab Shadow Claw or Phantom Force. Well, Shadow Claw I should say. Uh, because Phantom Force is a 2-turn move. Who knows? Maybe Power or Phantom Force will come into play. Uh, just throwing it out there, but uh, it yeah, Dumbass is really here just be support, just be a bulky offensive line, and its ability before I forget, its ability is Steel Worker, which uh essentially make Steel type moves have a stab boost where it has a same type of attack bonus boost, doubling the damage of Anchor Shot, Gyro Ball, I Heavy Slam. I know it gets that. Sorry if I'm just all over the place. I'm just trying to think. I'm just trying to think of just put everything into one thought because this draft happened a week ago. Yeah, a week ago, and it's in my mind is just all over the place right now. So, uh, so moving on. Uh, I welcome you, Delmise. No, not Delmise. Wreckage D Delmise to the Virginia Scizor team. So, my next pick was Nidoqueen, and to be honest, I'm not sure how Nidoqueen managed to survive until round 6. I was hoping, I was hoping that it wasn't gonna get it sniped. Well, no, my original thought was Gengar, Gengar, okay, getting sniped for me. So or no, a ground type that I wanted got sniped for me. Then I switched out uh my plan to have Nidoqueen instead of Gengar. So so at this point, and I need a ground type just to any I need a ground type that could cover Tapu Fini. Tapu Fini's electric weakness, and seeing as I already have Delmise, which is weak to fire, Galvantula, which is weak to fire. I figured I should have something that's not weak to fire that would cover Tapu Fini. So Queen is here is a is an excellent defensive mon, lives so many hits, and can return fire with a lot of uh with a array of coverage moves since its ability Sheer Force, which uh increases the power of moves at the cost of completely removing their secondary effects. Uh, it actually does it hard on the special and physical side because uh Nidoqueen and Nidoking uh also have decent attack stats, have these a decent physical attack stats, and a lot of people forget that since most people usually see special, so that means special. I run assault vest, but then out of nowhere you get hit with a life or poison dive, and well, that's just done. So with this, with my 6 picks done, I welcome you, Elizabeth, the Nidoqueen Queen, to the Virginia Scizors. Uh, okay, so moving on to my next pick, I went with Alolan Persian, and honestly, I went with Alolan Persian for 2 reasons. One, one, and that's and being the reason that the first reason being the reason why I picked it so early because I wanted a I wanted a decent T user. I didn't have that many options at this point, so I figured, hey, get a little Persian. It gets Z parting shot. Z parting shot is great. Uh, basically acts like a healing wish. No, it just restores the next. It restores all HP the next Pokemon coming in. Uh, and the second reason is I wanted the speed stat of base 115, which is helpful because at this point my fastest mon was Galvantula, and that was when and that that was outspread by base 110s. That this way, if I have if I have a base 115, I don't have to rely too much on priority or or living a hit from 110s if I can strike first. And let's see. Uh, Alolan Persian gets two great abilities in Fur Coat and Technician. Fur Coat doubling its defense, which is sort of average, but with the right investment can make or break a game. And uh, Technician powers up more weaker moves that it gets. Uh, Powers up moves of a power base 60 or less. Be being all the hidden powers, fake out. Uh, oh man, what a uh moves that are relatively weak, but it can take advantage of. Moves that are relatively weak, Technician helps it take advantage of. Uh, English. Okay, so uh, with this, uh, I welcome Fancy, the Alolan Persian, to the Virginia Scissors team. Next, we have Embor. E- Embor, the big that fire pig from Gen 5. Uh, I need, I really wanted to just get a fire type that could work well. Uh, that would just break through because at this point I didn't have too much immediate power because my launcher needs setup to do a lot to do anywhere near decent damage. Tom Feeney could use his Calm Mind a lot. Bishop needs a stat drop just to get the +2. Uh, so I wanted just immediate power, and this thing was sitting here on just unpicked, and I figured it would work well with webs since since webs plus this thing means that a lot of things are going to just feel a lot of hurt with its ability reckless. Oh, its more common ability reckless. Sorry. And what reckless does, it powers up moves that have recoil or crash damage. Uh, recoil being the most important part of that, since it gets a lot of recoil moves. Well, the two most important recoil moves being Flare Blitz, which is stab, and doing a lot off of its base attack stat already. And with Reckless powering that up, it just ends up being a nuke. And Wild Charge, which helps with the water type, with any sort of water types that I can outspeed and this it and just chunk down. Oh, yeah. Also, it's another Sucker Punch user, and let's see, it's it's a fighting type, a very powerful fighting type just that just destroys really whatever is on the field. Like very few things can take can take two hits from the from this uh can take two flare blitzes from this, I should say, because of how immense this attack set is. Mind you, Ember is a little bit on the slow side, that but that slowness is also accompanied by a huge HP stat and a and decent defense stat. And if I'm feeling up to it, I can run a mix it since its special attack stat is not that bad. It's it's weaker than its physical attack, but it's not by any means bad. So with this with this I welcome Roadhog, the M board to the Virginia Scizors. So at this point, my last three, I need like I needed something to patch up a few holes. I needed another decently fast mon. So my that's really my thought process of the last three rounds. So my next pick is Archeops, and Argops is such a stellar mod. I've seen it do so much uh so much damage with acrobatics since it's stab on this thing and it's a rough line. Uh, it, it gets there. It gets a lot of moves. Dragon Claw, Head Smash. Uh, oh man, I have to think about this one. Uh, I guess Sky Drop. I want to say it gets Sky Drop. I'll probably check that when I'm building. But the point of this thing is it hits hard. The only thing that hinders it. Oh wait. Uh, no, it hits Archeops hits hard and is very fast, coming in at base 110. The only thing that hinders it and why it's so low in tier 5 is its ability to Fetus, which halves its attack and speed um, once this Pokemon is under 50% HP. And with with the typing, it's not that hard to get it down to that, but I I'm pretty sure I can do a lot of damage with workouts before it even gets into Fetus. And hey, I have root. Like this thing gets roots. I can put roots on this thing and keep putting it above the Fetus. Uh, with it, with this, I welcome you fly by the Arcups to the Virginia Scissors team. Ugh, okay, so my next pick, I started with another rapid spinner, and I saw I didn't have a normal type yet because well, okay, I had this little notion that if I manage to get a normal and ghost type, then for one, no like normal spam can't totally dent everything, and ghost spam can't just hurt everything. So making a normal type stops ghost types. Get, I guess it helps stuff. Like it helps Delmise out a little bit. And for next pick, I went with Komala. Yeah, just the tiny little bear that for some reason gets earthquake when the master of volcanoes, Entei doesn't. Still salty about that. But regardless, Kamala Kamala's here. Kamala is now. Uh, it is fairly slow speed ties with Emvor, but it it has a lot of utility. It gets Wish. It's another rapid spinner, and like most normal types, gets a lot of coverage moves. Being Earthquake, Play Rough, Sucker Punch, another Sucker Puncher. I just realized I have 3 Sucker Punchers. Wow. Uh, Wood Hammer. Think it's Elemental Punches as well. And then it's that I've been seeing it is just Sleep Talk. Choice Band Sleep Talk Last Resort, which just hurts anything that isn't resisted because it has an amazing attack side base 110. Uh, it may not be the bulkiest thing, but I I really want Kamala to do a lot of work this season. And okay, with that, I'm just gonna move on to my last pick. But with that, I welcome Kamala. I welcome Tired AF the Kamala. And with our final pick, this is more or less just a pick that I just sort of wanted as extra insurance for hazard stacking, and I got Espeon. Instead of just sitting there, I had the free points to get it, and it's another base one. when 10, which means that uh, uh, that great speed stat. It's an evolution, and like all evolutions get Wish and Heal Bell, which is great. It also a lot of utility. Oh, before before I forget, Kamal's ability is comatose, which means it can be status. Can't be it can't be status anyway because top continues Messy Surge, but just in case Messy Surge isn't up, Kamal absorbs status and it can't be and it can't get status by something else since it is technically considered sleeping. Hence why Choice Band Sleep Talk works so well without rest at all. So okay, back to Espeon. Espeon gets two great abilities in synchronize and magic bounce. Synchronize being if the if if the opponent status is the synchronizer, then the status effect will come. Then the status effect being with burn, paralysis, and toxic will cause back onto to the attacker, and that and then magic bounces all status moves back to the other side. So uh, and I really love using Espeon. It gets psychic, Psyshock. It doesn't have too much coverage, but it's a great little niche mon. And honestly, I love using this. So yeah, yeah, and with this, welcome I wel- I welcome Misty the Espeon to my to the Virginia Scissors team, completing out the roster. And man, uh, I like honestly post draft, I was thinking this team seems a bit odd, but then again, no, look at the coach. Like I'm just odd all around, so it fits me well, I guess. So I don't know. I think only time will tell just to see what I get, what I switch out, or if I don't switch out. And and before I end up ending this video, uh, I it's like I'm so sorry about all the ads that happen. Spotify is a little bit of a nuisance sometimes because it decides to play two ads while I'm recording. But our first opponent is the commissioner of the Alola International Ground Glider Score, which again I'll link his channel below for this video and the battle. Um, and as far as the battles go, I will be post commentating and just giving just a little rundown of the sets before the actual replay begins. So uh, that is the roster the Virginia Scissors. We and I will keep saying this because it actually fits, but we're gonna be bullet punching our way to the top this season after a fairly difficult uh season 4, which I joined in to replace the coach. So yeah, and I guess I'll I guess I'll see y'all when the battle happens. So till then, I be game Flygon, and I hope you all enjoy this video. Bye.